Hey, great to have you on show. Good afternoon, everyone. Great. Thank God you were able to make it, Mrs. Senator Donzella James. We're so glad to have you.
Thank you.
We're so glad. Can you hear me? Hello?
Okay. Hello,
Yes.
hello.
I can hear you, Sandra.
Great.
Okay,
Great.
hello. Good evening.
Yeah. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are glad to have you, viewers. I'm here with, I'm Sandra Ukoh by name. I'm a John Maxwell certified coach and speaker. And this show is Making a Difference with Sandra Ukoh. I have with me our special guests, Senator Donzella James and Financial Paul. And just a short introduction about the show. The show is Making a Difference. We are trying to leave a message and a mark in the sign of times. We want to let the generations coming behind us and people around to know how they can live a life of difference, how they can stand out, how they can be an instrument of change, an agent of change. That's the reason why we have this show. And the topic today is how can we make a difference in our life? We're talking about our career, business, and relationship. So today we have a special guest with us, Senator James Donzella of United States of America, Atlanta, Georgia. She's here with us this evening. And I have my colleague, Financial Paul, who is into financial trainings and, enlightenment to enlighten people on how they can become rich Africa. He's there with me. His name is, and want to appreciate the people online, all our viewers from all over that are joining us online. We appreciate you for making our time to join us live on this show with our senator of Georgia. She's here, and I'm glad to have you. Everything was working against us having this show, but glory to God that this is possible. So we'll go straight into our topic today. And I think we want to know more about you, ma'am. Let's know about you because there are people that probably never met you before, and some people who are meeting you for the first time. They like to know more about you, ma'am. So we'll leave the floor for you to speak. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. And thank you so much for inviting me. My name is Senator Donzella James, and I represent the great state of Georgia and 35th Senate District. And I've been in office many, many years, and I've worked on children issues, education, and business, to just name a few. So, can anything be too hard? Is the title of your book, and
Yeah, can anything hold you
nothing
back?
can be too hard. Nothing.
Nothing.
Everything is attainable if we work hard enough and pray.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm a woman of God, so I always put it before God first,
Yes.
and then I
That's the God
act.
factor.
Yes,
Yeah, that's awesome. That's
yes,
awesome. Yeah, thank you for that word. There is a God factor in anything we're doing. Without a God factor, we are zero. Great to have you. What would you
thank
think,
you.
and how would you want the viewers, to be people of difference? Because this show is making a difference. So, and I'm sure a lot of people are wondering, how do we make a difference? Can you give me a word? What do you know, and how would you educate them to be a people of difference? They want to
Well,
learn.
one way that I guess we're all different. We all have our strengths and weaknesses, and we all have to look at how we can make a difference and how we can live with ourselves and do something good or even
Mm,
great. And one thing is to take care of our children and raise our children properly and give them the tools
mm,
that will make them succeed
mm,
tomorrow. And for generations to come, we need to
Yeah,
plant some,
yeah,
you know, I'm in
mm.
politics, and I like to
yeah.
think that I'm
Okay.
just a strong public servant rather than a self servant, like so many
Oh,
of them are. And so we have to
mm,
make sure that if we're there to make policies or to make sure our tax dollars go in the right direction, that's what we must concentrate on. And I always look at what other states are doing, what other countries are doing, if they're doing something better than we're doing in the state of Georgia and in the United States. So there are different ways to make a difference. You just have to find out your forte and what you're strong with.
Mm,
And I first of all, I think it was I heard someone talk about when you're flying on a plane, how you have to first get the instructions from the flight attendant. And the first thing they say is if the airbag comes down and you have to use oxygen, to put it on yourself first before you help anybody
before
else.
help
So,
true.
anybody, yes, exactly.
so you definitely have to take care of yourself first, and then you can
Mm,
help others. And so
mm.
I
That's true.
use that as something that I do all the time. I make sure that I'm secure because I don't want to teach someone something or do something that I wouldn't do for
You've not
myself.
done.
Amen.
Yeah,
Mm.
So that's
yeah,
that's that's the major focus.
Wow.
yeah. That's awesome. Paul, what would you say?
Yes, one thing I picked out from what Senator Donzella James said is taking care of your family. And I could remember the record we had 2 days ago with the woman from India. And she made mention of the impact the dad had over her life, and that sends me a signal that your first primary difference you can make is from your children or
From your home.
your immediate children from home. So if you make that difference from home, if everybody could make that difference from their home, it's going to be a
Mm,
multiplier effect. That's the
awesome,
primary
awesome.
assignment. So I really grabbed that. That reminded me of 2 days ago, and I feel that that's the primary one. Then yourself, your home, then you reach out to the world.
Yeah, there is a
Exactly.
saying that says your home is the first constituency that you're ruling over. If you cannot rule
Exactly.
over your home, you can rule over
Absolutely.
anywhere.
Yeah.
So that
It,
yeah, that's it. Because that's your field, that's your platform, that's your platform for leadership, and that's your platform to rule. And if you're able to rule well, you can rule other people, because it says show me
Exactly.
who you are and I'll tell you, show me your friends, show me your family. because they're your first constituency. That the people you're ruling over. That's the immediate people closer to you before the people in the world. So if you're able to rule your family effectively, then I think that it's a level ground for you to be able to do better and a greater work.
To the world. Exactly.
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 Yeah.
Exactly. And of course, I grew up right after the civil rights movement in the United States. But as a little girl, my mother's good friend that grew up in the neighborhood was Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And he was a great
Wow.
man and wanted to make a positive difference. He was a preacher, teacher, and a drum
Yeah.
major for justice. And he won the Nobel Peace Prize. He was the first African American in history to win the Nobel Peace Prize. And he talked about serving all the time. So he said that everybody can be great because anybody can serve. You don't have to have your college degree to serve or make your subject and verb agree to serve or know about Einstein or Plato's theory of relativity to serve. He said all you need is a heart full of grace and a soul generated by love. And I often, Christians,
Mm.
they think they go to church and then that's it. I fulfill my responsibility. Oh no, put God first, think about serving others, then because how can you be a great leader if you have not learned how to serve and learned how to be the person to do the work too? So that's what
Exactly.
I always put first.
Mhm. Yeah.
Wow.
And that's why I said love is, love conquers everything. Once you have
Yes.
a love for yourself, you can love other people. Once you
Yes.
feel, if you can't love yourself, there is no way you can love any human being around you. So saying that God first, loving yourself, then you're able to extend and serve others because you see them as people of priority. You treat them, you value them well. There's this golden rule that says, treat others the way you want to be treated.
Absolutely, absolutely. And have
So
that
it's
heart
Yeah.
full of grace and soul generated by love and putting him first and making sure that you take
Mm.
care of yourself and your family and then help
Mm.
others later, immediately afterwards or during the same time, then that makes you grow. And
that's it.
planting the right seeds out there in the world too, because it's going to grow. So if you
Yeah,
are
sure.
sending negative things out all the time, my grandmother used to
Exactly.
say, "It's not your aptitude that determines your altitude; it's your
Yeah.
attitude. It's how
Yes.
you treat other people and how whether you're nice or mean or negative or whatever. If you want to be positive and think for try to look forward and not backwards, then I think that all of your listeners need to know that that's the way to success."
Mm.
That's true. You said it all. Yeah, you said it.
Thank
True. Yeah, you said it all. I know that you're the senator of Georgia, one of the
Yes.
senators in Georgia. How were you able to get there? Because I know it's not easy. Been there, and you've been in politics for the past over 10, 15 years. I know you've been there. How
Wow.
have you been?
Yes.
How did you get there? And how have you been able to sustain that tempo?
Well,
Wow.
I take the job seriously. I look at
Okay.
being in the Senate as my way of giving back to the community and my way of changing negative things that are happening or finding
Mm,
better ways to better policies to put in place. And all the antiquated laws and Jim Crow and all of the prejudice things that were going on, we try to find a positive way to go around them or to change them forever. So it's very hard. First of all, being I'm a Democrat and not in the popular party, and
yeah.
so that's one thing. Then I'm a woman and I'm African American, so often
Oh,
people say
wow.
you
So
got
many
three
things.
strikes against you, but I don't look at it
Yeah.
that way. I know that it's
Wow.
hard, but I find the best way to
To
be
deal
proud
with
of
it.
myself and to go around any obstacle that's in the way. So it's hard
Wow.
it's hard to win. Some people say, "Oh, that I can get signs like Senator Donzella James, and if I put my name out there, I can win. But they don't know. I studied hard and long. I read. I listen to all
Mm.
of the concerns of the people, and I'm committed to the people and not the politics of it. So I look forward to just finding the best way to do something, and that's what I can look at myself in the mirror the next day after it passes and say, thank you, God, I did good. You used me well. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow,
so that,
that's
Awesome.
awesome. That's awesome.
Awesome.
but
A
it's not
life of
easy to win.
service.
No, it's not easy.
It's
Not at
not.
all. Because I have to get
Mm.
at least 250,000
Mm.
people to vote for me. Most of those
Yeah.
people are not going to know me. So I
No,
want
not
them to know
more.
my works and the things that I have done and the things that I'm trying to do. And then also, sometimes they just want someone who will listen. And that's what
Mm.
I think that I've had a good time to do. Just listen to the people and their concerns. Even those some who are incarcerated, everybody need a second chance. I even go and listen to them. We don't want criminals on the street who are going to hurt us, but there are some people who got in trouble or they were put in there because they were with the wrong crowd. So should they rot in jail? So I work on second chance as well. I work on education. I am a chairperson of Interstate Corporation. So I work with all the other countries and all the other states in the United States and in water wars. If we have, say, North Carolina and South Carolina have water coming all the way down into Georgia, but it's polluted. We got to work together to stop the pollution, just things like that. And zero waste by 2020 is what I wanted. Now we're saying 2030 because everybody makes garbage and they continuing to clutter and I want to have recycling, reducing, compost, making the air quality better, making
Yeah.
landfills not be there, improving emissions on cars. It's so much you can do as an elected official on the state or the federal level, and that's what I concentrate on.
Oh, that's awesome.
Thank
Sincerely,
you.
a life
Thank
of
you.
service, commitment to helping the people and ensuring that things are working well for them and having a listening ear. When you said that, I said that's a skill that cannot be overemphasized. That's a skill everybody needs to embrace. Listening goes beyond just, people are talking to you and you're there. You have got to concentrate, look them eyeball to eyeball,
Yes.
making sure you're able to connect with them. Not just say, oh, I've heard you. That's it. But you're able to connect with the people,
Yes.
And this book I read from John Maxwell, it says everyone is communicating. Everyone is communicating, but few are connecting. Not everyone who
Exactly.
communicates are connecting.
Wow.
Oh my
Yes,
God.
you're right. You're right. Even
Yeah.
in something like the Senate chambers or the House of Representatives, and we're all we don't connect that well, all of us, and it's so much. Right now, you can see all over the TV how everybody's fussing about politics, about different parties,
Excuse me.
voting. Everybody has all their different opinions. At one time, we used to try to negotiate and talk and work it out. So sometimes that connection is not even there for doing that, but we have to try to connect because you are one vote if you don't. You got to be more than one vote to get the majority in order to
To
pass.
get to exactly.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
awesome. Paul, you have something to say?
One of the things I picked from what Zilla James said is that, like she said, she mentioned three different things that was more or less going to stop her from gaining the senator seat, like the she's a Black American, she's in the what's it called,
Minority,
the minority
and she's a
and
woman.
she's
And she is a woman.
different. She's a woman also. So that strikes a call to me that if you really want to make a difference in your life, sometimes you're going to be faced
with different orders,
with
different
so many
circumstances, situations.
challenges. Like you said, if you keep at it and you have a heart to serve people, and you have a heart to develop people, you are really going to get to the point of making a difference in your life and also in the life of other.
Praise God. You know,
Yeah,
it's
when
another
she's
thing,
There
another
will always
thing
be
that I,
challenges. There will always be obstacles.
one thing
But
that I
once
do
you
is
have the right,
never quit too. You know, you can't quit. Sometimes you say, oh, well, I don't want to vote on that, or I shouldn't
exactly,
even fight that issue
exactly,
because I don't, all the cards are stacked against me. I don't have the votes. I don't, you can't give up. You got to find a way to make
yeah,
something positive happen.
yeah,
And
that's
that
an
is
attitude
really,
of greatness.
yes. And so that's another thing that we have to do.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons I came up with a book. Can anything hold you back? Can anything stop you from becoming the best version of yourself? Nothing except you.
Nothing.
So you must
Amen.
not throw in the towel. You must not give up. So when you said
Yes.
never, nothing can, there are things, there are situations, there are circumstances, there are hurdles, there are things
Yes.
like today, everything was working against us from having this show. But as
Yes.
God will have it, it's a success today by the grace of God. You can
Praise
imagine.
God.
I could have given up and said, oh, she's not okay. She's in the hospital. What do we do, Paul? Do we call it a day or what do we do? We kept at it. We kept eating the nail. We kept praying and doing everything within our power by the grace of God to be able to come up. And thank God we were able to come up. So I want to thank you.
You're
Even with
welcome.
all the pains you've been through today, you were able to come on the show. And he goes beyond, just leading. It shows the heart of commitment. It shows selflessness from your side. It shows that beyond anything holding you back, you can see forge ahead. You are the
Yes.
only person stopping yourself. Nothing should and would hold you back if you do not allow it to hold you back because you are a person of difference. You have been called to. We've all been given one skill, one talent, or the other. We've got all it would take to make a difference. So there is no one God has created that doesn't have a skill or a talent. In every
Well,
man God has made, He's given us something to run with. So nothing should hold us back this year much more than ever before. And I want to find out from you, how were you able to manage with this, with your family, being a woman? And I know you said from the minority and being a black again, you're from the minority Democrats. So I know you
yes.
had so many things working against you from being a senator, being a public figure, being a politician. So I would like you to tell me, how were you able to manage your own fronts? Because we're talking, really, the topic today is relationship, family, and career.
Well, the
So,
main way that I could be successful as a politician once I won was to make sure that my family is taken care of, and that they are also happy about helping because they have to do their share and sometimes my share of what I should be doing at home. But it's a family affair with us. It was not just my seat; it was our seat that I was winning and that I was
yeah.
continuing to work toward. And I listened to my children. I let them tell me what they thought we should do to make a positive difference in the world and what we could do to change some of the laws that have been on the books since before we were born, and for generations these negative things have been on there. And some people say, oh well, it's not going to ever change, and so it's nothing we can do about it. But I taught my children to say, oh mom, what about this? Why don't you let's research X, Y, and Z? So they were always thinking also. So, like I said, it was a family affair. My husband did not mind working and then coming home on some days and having to provide a dinner for everyone. And I had boys only, so they all learned how to cook, how to clean, how to do all of the
Wow.
things. And they didn't think it was a woman's work. They said, we have to do this in order to, you can't work in a cluttered environment and in an environment where they're not eating. So we had to learn how to take care of ourselves together. And then, of course, I had to spoil them every chance I had to do that, and do everything for 'em when they least expect it. I'd take a whole month off and just be there and do everything and take everybody's responsibility away from them. And I took on the task. But the main thing is supporting each other. Just as they supported me, I supported my children in the sports they were taking, in the classwork they were doing, and then when they went on to college. And
Yeah.
my late husband and I really worked very hard. And by the way, I'm going to have a new husband on June the 5th. I just got engaged for Christmas. So I had been
Ah,
a widow for 8 years, and God brought someone into my life. So
awesome.
so I look at that as another phase of my life, not a responsibility. Like
Yeah.
some people say, oh, you're gonna have to learn how to cook, you're gonna have to do this again. No, we're gonna have a partnership. And that's what everyone needs. A partnership with their families and their spouses. Or just if you're by yourself, I enjoyed the last 8 years living by myself. And, I learned how to do that successfully as well. So, like I said, take care of yourself and then you can take care of everybody else.
Yeah, that's awesome. And that's what you said earlier, that when you're in the plane, and the first thing the air hostess says, take care of yourself before you can take care of others. If you're not strong, you will not be there tomorrow to take care of them. So you've
That's
got to take care of yourself and ensure that you are good before you can take care
amen.
of the people around you. And that's awesome. I can see a lot of bonding. I can see a lot of oneness. I can see partnership between you and your family because you guys were able to come together. It's our seat. We won it
Yes.
together. We have
Yes.
got to be successful together. That was awesome. And they work with you. They do the job you are doing, and they do it together. Is our seats, is our states.
Exactly.
That's a
Right.
great one. And I love what you said. Sometimes you just take off days off work, stay by
Yes.
them, take off their task, and do things for them. Life is all about mutual agreement. Be
Exactly.
there for each other. Help
Exactly.
each other. I'm sure if they were not there for you, probably you would never be there for them. But they were
Yes.
willing, they were forthcoming, they were there to support you to
Yes.
succeed. And having all male children, and they were
Yes.
there to be able to take care of themselves when you were well. And I guess maybe most times when you come back from work, you have dinner already prepared for you. You don't have to go
Oh,
to the kitchen.
yes.
That's
Yes.
awesome. That's
Yes.
awesome. It is nobody's job, it's everyone's job. We've got to do
Yes.
it because a lot of times, guys will tell you, oh, I don't have to be in the kitchen. But getting to hear that your boys cook, you do a lot for
Yes.
them, you being a
Yes.
good, you've made a
Yes.
difference in their life. And I'm sure
Thank
everywhere they
you.
go to, people will speak good about them. For boys to be able to be domesticated, being able to
Yes.
cook, being able to clean, that's
Yes.
awesome. That's awesome. You
Yes.
made a difference in your home, and you've made a difference in politics. That's what I can
Thank
see.
you.
And basically, our topic was supposed to be on career, business, and relationship. You've spoken about relationship. You've spoken about career, and aside from being in politics, did you have any other business? Was there anything you were doing as a side
Yes.
business to grow?
Yes. I started out at a with a federal position, a postal service position while I was going to college, and then I became a teacher for
Wow.
11 years before everyone encouraged me to run for office. And that was another thing I was asked to run. And people came and helped with the campaign and helped to get the message out. So it was not just something that's, some people seem that they want a title. I never even thought about the title. I just thought about
Hmm.
running to make a
Yeah.
difference. And many of my friends like the fact that we could all say, didn't have a person to say, I, me, my, but we, us, and our. So I included everyone. So when you're inclusive with those people who are out there working in your campaigns or working in your office or with your business, it's all good. Plus, my husband was air traffic controller for 14 years. And then
Oh,
he decided to buy a store with his brother. And so in downtown Atlanta, we bought a store and we had it for 29 years until he became so ill that we had to sell it. So he's in heaven now, but we did very, very well from expanding our opportunities, not just focusing on one thing and staying there, but continuing to grow.
yeah. That's awesome. You had
Thank
a
you.
supportive family, and that's why there's nothing like having a family that supports you for you to
Yes.
stand out and become a success. I
And
have learned
my
so much from
husband
you.
bought about 10 houses, uh not including ours, and we rented them. And he taught my sons how to go, and they learned how to repair them and do all of the things we didn't have to pay somebody else to do. They did an excellent job in keeping everybody. We always had a waiting list for people who wanted to move into one of our residences. And so that's another way, you're always thinking about not just being a politician or having a title, but trying to make a good living and support
Yeah,
yourself and support your family and teaching them how to do the same thing.
yeah, that's awesome. I I have learned a lot, and I know that all our viewers today and everyone online connecting from different parts of the world, I probably learned one or two things. For me, it was awesome. You went into real estate. You didn't just
Yes,
depend on the funds that come from politics. You
right.
went, you diversified, you had all the things that would bring income. So you were into real estate. Oh my God, that's awesome. I really do appreciate you, Mal. Have learned a lot from you, and I'm sure all the viewers watching us online, they've also learned. And that you must all not depend on just one source of income. There must be other source of income. Perhaps one go down, you have something to leave and sustain your family with. So it was a good one having you on this show. I want to thank you for coming. I don't know, do you have any word you want to pass? Maybe a last word to the people before we call this an end? Because I
Well,
know that we've taken so much of your time. I didn't intend to keep you this long because I know you were just coming out of the clinic.
yes, and I have a 4-hour drive to get back to Atlanta to get home to start the
Wow.
Capitol tomorrow morning, early in the morning.
So
But
sorry.
no, I just let go and let God and let Him direct your path, and you can only go forward when you do that, and also continue to work hard and work smart. So don't just work your fingers to the bone if you're not doing anything that is going to help and bless yourself and other people. So that's my word for the day.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
This is awesome. Awesome. Awesome.
Thank you.
You don't just work hard, work smartly. Yeah, I want to thank you. I want to
Yes.
give Paul, my colleague. Paul, are you there? Hello, Paul. Before we call it a day, I want him to say something.
It
Paul, are
looked
you
like
there?
he faded off.
Yeah, I think his network, he wasn't able to connect back. So I want to say
Mhm.
thank you for making our
You're
time to
welcome.
to be live on the show. I want to thank Paul, my colleague, Financial Paul. He's not here
Yes.
now. I also want to
Yes.
thank all our viewers who have taken time to stay put and to watch. Thank you so much for making our time. Thank you. This is a weekly show making a difference. We learn from others. I told you that we learn from the experience of others so that we don't have to go through the same pain they went through. We can climb on their experience and get to where God has prepared from us, prepared for each and every one of
Mhm.
us. We can learn from them. We do not have to spend the same time and struggle to get to where they got to. So I want to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for your time. I want to thank you, Ma, for making our time.
You're
I'm so
welcome.
humbled. I'm very honored for taking our time to join us on this show. I want
It
to
was a
thank Paul
pleasure.
again, and I want to thank all our viewers. Thank you so
It,
much, and have a blessed and a great week. Today
you
is just the
too.
first day of the week, second day of the week, Monday. So we've got Tuesday to Friday. Please have an awesome and a great week. Bye for now.
Bye. It's a pleasure to serve and a pleasure to be on. Goodbye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you and have a blessed day.